The New York Knicks are one win away from a championship, but protocol must be followed. 3 easy steps. Contain the alien. Prepare the city. Shut it down. Shut it down.
Talking reckless, must be out his mind. X him off the checklist, read between the lines. I might move to Texas, roll around with my weapons. And then if you trespass, I'ma shut him down. Bro, shut it down. Bro, shut it down.
Came here to say that you don't really want it with us. Yeah, we live, you know. We came here to say that you don't really want it with us. Yeah, the sports show.
Yeah. Yeah. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode. Welcome back to another episode of Your Sports Show. I am your host, Big Baby, aka the Wise Brother, aka the Soul of R&B. And at the bottom of the pyramid, we have Henny Bobby Brown, aka BK Matt.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on?
And to my right, as always, we have Air Infinity, 100K Tay, anything you want to call her, she's outside, Queen Tay.
Yeah, period. I mean, the cat's out of the bag. I'm in remission from cancer. So if you see a girl looking a little tired, a little, getting back to herself, I have just been told I was in remission from pancreatic cancer, which kind of took me for a loop. Your girl's been fighting, y'all.
Yeah, she most certainly has.
I've been fighting, y'all. But, God is good.
All the time.
I'm here. And, we'll see what what's this is my third chance at life. Let's see what happens now.
Hey, you're a cat. Multiple lives.
I don't know about all that cat shit, but
Hey.
I would have preferred lioness, but since we doing like cat, like.
All right. I'm sorry, lioness. I'm sorry, Queen of the Jungle. My apologies.
The concrete jungle, baby.
Facts. That's a fact.
But yes, indeed. Welcome back. As you saw in the intro, the Knicks are one win away from ending a 53-year drought from the NBA Finals, and it happened. It was crazy the other night. It was real crazy the other night.
Are we talking about game 3 or we talking about game 4?
We only talk about game 4.
We're gonna touch. We're gonna get about game 3 and game 2 later on, but we want to talk about game 4 just off rip. Yeah. The Knicks were down 81-52.
They were
9 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah, they were.
And Jalen Brunson had 15 points in the third quarter.
Sure did. Alone.
And it just started to unravel for the Spurs. The Spurs took 8 straight threes and made 1.
But they were shooting lights out. They broke the record for most threes made in the NBA Finals at 14 in the first.
Yeah.
Right? Breaking the 2017 Cleveland Cavaliers a record of 13. It felt like in the first half of the game that everything was coming up Spurs. They were getting, every type of shot you could think of. You had Wemby shooting threes. You had Castle shooting threes. You had that what's his name? What's that? No, Champagne. He really wasn't like
Dylan Harper.
He didn't. Yeah, it was Harper.
You have Vassell.
Yeah, Champagne only scored 5 points of 2 for. He was 1 for 7 at the 3-point line, 2 for 9 field goals. But he was a really big defensive presence in the first quarter of the first half of that game too. More timely, it was a tale of 2 games. And the biggest lesson that we got to take from this game overall, before we really get into the nitty gritty, is just because You're in the lead doesn't mean you're ahead. And just because you're ahead doesn't mean you're going to win. It's not over until it's over. You gotta be, it's not, and that goes for this game, that goes for life, that goes for anything. It's not over until it's over. And the first half of that game, we saw two foolish fouls on Cat within the first, like, what, 2 minutes of the game. I mean, the first one was kind of questionable, and I think that changed the whole tone of the first half of the game. The Knicks were coming out with a certain type of intensity that was stalled when Cat had to sit, and their whole plan went to trash. And they had
Mhm.
to and then at the same time, we had a couple of questionable calls, like we've said before. Like we've said, uh, Wembanyama got away with two really like clear goaltends. We thought that the officials were going to start their nonsense again. But game 4 was, to me, hands down, one of the best games I've ever seen in my life. Um, when they cut the lead down to like 15 or 17 at the end of the third quarter, I said, if they get this within 20 points, I think Mike Breen said it too. If they have a fighting chance, if they got under 20 points of a deficit. Now, mind you, and I've said this in our last episode, and I say this in our chat. The Spurs are a streaky team. It
Yeah.
was feast in the first half, and it was famine in the second half. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you really want to look at the first half stats, right? San Antonio was shooting 60, their field goal percentage was at 60% to the Knicks 41. 14 from 26 at the 3-point range. That is an insane shot ratio. And they hit all 6 of their free throws. They had, well, New York out rebounded them. Last night was a tale of rebounds too, because neither
Mhm.
team rebounded well at all, at all. But in the second half, they went like totally cold to the point where like their field goal percentage went to 40 down to 42%, and that was only because of that second half, that first half spurt.
And they only scored like 21 points in the second half.
Yes, I
They only scored like 21 points in the second half.
30,
Mm-mm.
36, I
it
believe,
was like 36
36.
points.
You
Yeah,
sure?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. They scored 74 in the first half. The final score of the game was 32. They scored 32.
yeah. And you know what was crazy to me, that they I don't want to like over talk because I'm so excited about this. I think this is amazing. um I think when we saw that they kept missing their shots, they kept getting sloppy on defense. They thought they had us dead, legit. And they started doing what you would think inexperienced young player stuff, right? But I don't want to use that. What I'm not going to do is use that as an excuse, and I know we'll get there at another time. But it just shows you the tenacity of the Knicks, right? People have been crapping on the Knicks this entire playoff run. Now, mind you, everybody's better than the Knicks until it's time to play against the Knicks. Until it's time to be better than the Knicks. And I've
Same
been
thing about
saying that.
Jalen Brunson. Same thing about Jalen Brunson.
Yeah,
Every time.
but to be honest with you, this I still think that Brunson, that was his best. He was due for his best game,
Oh,
and that
that
was
was
his
his
best
best game.
game in the
That
finals, and
was.
it came. But you're not winning that game if not for OG Anunoby. You're
Yeah.
not winning that game if not. I am not happy with Cat's defense on Wemby, and I think because he was in foul trouble, he had to be a
He
little
had to.
easy. But
He had
still, but
to.
no, you play balls to the wall. It's the
No, I
finals.
got you.
You get what I'm
I
saying?
I, I
If
hear
it
you.
wasn't for OG Anunoby, if it wasn't for the rotation yesterday was genius. You had Hawkporty having some minutes. You had what's his name, Shocking, playing some minutes. Jeremy, what's his name? Jeremy
Shoham, Jeremy
Shoham.
Shoham.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
playing some minutes.
soccer,
Sockram.
soccer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoham, yes.
I call him
Brooklyn's
soccer.
own Jose Alvarado showed up and showed out.
He
I
was the X
mean,
factor.
he was him and
He was
Brunson
the
were
X
the
factor.
two, yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to tip your hat off to OD. Cat that got some really good stops. They were playing. Castle had a very quiet game in that second half,
He's in foul trouble,
and he was in foul trouble, but he
Josh
gets in
Hart
foul trouble
locked him
too.
up. Josh Hart locked him up. That's what it was.
Yeah, Josh Hart had him locked down. But it was a team game. Everybody contributed as best as they could. I'm still not a fan of them dribbling, pounding until you get to like 12 seconds on the shot clock, and then your whole play
Ooh, I hate
collapses.
that. I
They
hate it.
do
I hate
that
it. I hate
so
it.
much, and
Oh, I can't
that's
wait to
the
talk
only
about that.
problem. That's the only problem I have with Brunson. But memorable game. The Knicks lodged the largest. This is the second time in these playoffs that the Knicks have faced insurmountable odds to win a game. And
24 29.
you can't keep saying, oh, the East was JV. You can't keep saying stuff like that because you're diminishing the competitiveness of these playoffs. They were busting ass this whole playoffs. And now games like last night show you why. The Knicks are 5-3 when they're down 20 plus points. And the rest of the NBA is 4 for 71.
Damn. I didn't know that stats.
That's a hell of a stat. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I didn't know that stat. Um, we're strictly talking about game four. I have a lot to say as far as game four, but I'm going to start off with something that Tay kind of shed light on as far as I think a lot of us kind of like try to give the Spurs grace because of their age. Their star players are 21, 22, and 19. Well, De'Aaron Fox is 28, but in all realness, Dylan Harper's been playing a lot better than De'Aaron Fox. But
Only offensively.
yeah, well, no, I feel like he's been playing in Brunson's chest a lot. He's been getting to Brunson just as heavy as Harper has. But in all realness, I I want to say they go 90 miles per hour in the first two half and in the first two quarters, and they start to die out going in the third quarter, and then they have nothing left in the fourth.
Every,
And
every single time.
and I felt and that's always been the Knicks' game plan. We keep it close until it's time for Jalen Brunson to close in the fourth. And one of the things that we already know, and that's through officiating, and we'll see that. We'll talk about that later on in the show. But Wemby's the guy. He's tailor made to be the guy. We clearly see that, but it's kind of showing that he's not quite ready yet. He's not quite ready yet because he does like in this game. Yeah, you can be a 7'6" guard, but it makes no sense if you don't have no other move other than a couple shots to the side and a step back three, especially if you're 7'6", because you're gonna keep shooting and you're gonna live by the three. You're gonna die by the three eventually, and that's exactly what happened to the Spurs. They lived by the three in the first half, and then they died by the three in the second half. I'm not gonna let this to their age. What I'm going to levy this on is inexperience on not just them, but their coach.
Really?
Yes,
You think inexperience?
very much so inexperience because
You know what?
I'm putting a soul of the blame, yes, on Wemby, but more so on De'Aaron Fox and Max Johnson. Because
I don't think that's fair.
if you're 29 points ahead and you're going into the fourth quarter and you're up by what 27, 27.
No, they weren't up that much in the fourth.
Well, like going into the third, going into the third,
Yeah.
you don't have to score. You don't have to even score. Run the clock out. Get defensive stops like you've been doing and run the clock out. But they didn't do that. They are taking 3-point shots in double digits left on the shot clock. And that's ultimately what killed them.
But all right. In a way I do agree with you, but I don't think De'Aaron Fox should get as much blame as he does.
No,
Because you don't lose. People are blaming him like this is all his fault. right? And it's a mix of things, right? It wasn't just the inexperience. I feel like every time I hear inexperience or anytime I hear, inexperience of the coach or inexperience of the team, it diminishes the Knicks
Why I say
to
it doesn't?
me.
I don't say it diminishes the Knicks because we can all agree that Mike Brown coached his ass off last night.
But
I
he
feel
didn't
like he
coach his
coaches.
ass off the series.
No, he didn't. But last night he coached his ass off. Yeah, he went through 12 players to
You
ultimately
have
get to
to.
that money matchup where you didn't have Brunson and Alvarado ever play on the same at the same time on the floor, and you tested it out then, and you needed that because now you have two pretty good ball handlers with Alvarado also playing defense with Bridges and OG and Hart, and they're pressing up on these guards, forcing them to make turnovers and bad mistakes. And then with Wemby having no legs, he's making mistakes because all he's going to settle for is a shot, which makes no.
Dude, they only had 12 turnovers the whole game. That's
But
not bad. I mean, I'm
it's
talking about
not
the
bad.
Spurs. It's
It's
not
not bad, but
bad.
it's bad when it's in crucial moments.
Yeah, but it's not bad because when you think about it, they got 20. The Knicks gave up 24 points off of turnovers last night
Yeah.
to the Spurs 11. So we can't say it was turnovers that cost them this game.
No,
What
it's bad
happened?
shots.
It was they were doing the same shots that they were doing in the first half. It's just like
Yeah.
you live by the gun, you die by the gun. It happens. It happens to everyone because the Knicks have traditionally gone cold
Hmm.
in the fourth quarter, which led to why they lost in game three. They
Yeah.
went stone cold. Now, mind you, I think it was more of sheer will and I would say poise
Yeah.
that was the reason why. Because you seen the team, they felt like this is what they did to Cleveland in game one of the Eastern Conference Finals, right?
Hmm.
They felt like they could do that again. And they followed the same exact blueprint. Just chip, just chip, just chip. Throw bodies at Wemby. I'm going to be honest with you. I do not like how Cat does not know where Wemby is when he's on the court.
Yeah.
I don't like it. There
But
were a
then
couple of
that's
times,
good positioning on the Spurs part because then they have that screen off with Champagne or with what's his name, Stephon Castle,
yeah,
which gives Wemby that run off to get over there. He gets the matchup that he wants.
but Wemby does not like opposition in the paint, and he does
Mhm.
not like opposition in the perimeter, right?
He don't like
There
getting
were
in the
a
paint.
couple of
Period.
times that Jose Alvarado bailed out Cat with defense. There were a couple of times that OG, bailed them out. There were times like Mikal Bridges had a very quiet offensive game, but his defense was felt on the other
100%.
side on that side, right?
And we need that. We
Deuce
need that for
McBride
game
went
four.
cold, but Deuce McBride played defense.
Yeah.
Landry Shamet he went stone cold. That boy couldn't miss
Yeah.
before. But it was the defense. But I would say this. I do not like last night something that Charles Barkley said that really upset me about the team. He caught like mind you, do I want the Knicks to win? Absolutely. Do I care too much? Am I a Spurs? After this series, I can't stand the Spurs. Let's just
I
be real
never,
with you,
I never could,
right? I know
especially going
that
from
was
'99.
they were so boring to me. It was so indifferent. Like I
Yeah.
was so indifferent to the Spurs. Like I had no positive, no negative, didn't care, right? But let's be real here. This is a team of the future,
100%. We all know
right?
that.
And I hate the comparison. Like everybody say, well, this reminds me of when Shaq was with the Magic, and this was like the
Mm-mm.
coronation of Shaq and reincarnated. Shaq is Shaq, Wemby is Wemby, right?
Wouldn't be soft.
Wemby, no, I don't think he's soft. I think honestly that the Knicks just outplayed them.
I hear you. What I mean by Wemby is soft. Wemby does not have no post move. For somebody that went to go visit Hakeem Olajuwon, or went to go study with Kevin Garnett, and you still don't have no post moves where you really need it in the finals, to the point where Cat is in your chest and Mitchell Robinson's in your chest, OG, who is literally close to a foot shorter than you, he's in your chest. Hartenstein was in your chest. The only person that you can say that you got the best of was Chet Holmgren.
Right, but to be honest with you, the past two games, Wemby has gotten the best of Cat.
Yeah, from the perimeter.
Yeah, but Cat didn't even want to see him in the paint. Mitchell Robinson is not doing really well against Wemby either.
Yeah, he got
Let's
in his
be
head. He
let
got in
no,
his
I
head.
don't even think he got
So,
in his head. I think his hand.
so to jump in, I
And
want
he
to
had
jump
no,
in
but
right.
no, no, but Mitch Robinson had to do that flagrant on Wemby. He had no choice. He had to show Wemby that you couldn't do what you did to Brunson the game before. It just presented the right time
Yeah,
to do it. He had to be the one.
I
And
wasn't
it couldn't be
mad.
Alvarado,
I
even though
wasn't mad, but I wasn't happy about it because I'm like, yo, we're down by like 15. You're bugging.
nah, he had to. He had no choice. He needed to get the receipt.
Alvarado got it too.
Yeah, but he needed to get the receipt. He needed to, because you know what? The thing is, they know damn well that Wemby would have got ejected from that. That wasn't a flagrant one to me. That was a flagrant two, what he got away with in game three. You
Oh,
get what I'm saying?
100%.
And then the fact that they didn't upgrade it after the fact, and then the flagrant that he got last night, he wouldn't be playing in game five at all. If you really, he's not supposed to even be playing in game five.
But you
Let's
knew
be
they
real,
ain't
but
gonna
I'm
do
not no
that.
punk.
You know they ain't gonna do that.
No, but I'm just saying he wasn't, by all intents and purposes, he wasn't supposed to. But I don't like the idea of like, oh, they're inexperienced. Oh, what I was saying before, Charles Barkley called them a stupid team.
And, no, I agree with him
I
to a
don't
degree.
like that. But the thing is, I don't like that Charles. Like, no offense to Charles Barkley, he's one of the greatest basketball players of all time. But like, what have you haven't won a ring either?
Yeah,
So it's
against
like,
Jordan.
but still, so Jordan's a bitch. Like, I'm tired. I'm tired of Jordan. Man, yo, fuck Jordan.
You know what time she did that? 2026, 2022, 26.
Fuck Jordan. No, I mean that with my whole chest. Fuck Jordan.
Dre's like, I just want to get in here real quick. Just
No, I'm just
yeah.
I'm just being honest. Like, he had to play against Jordan. He had to play against a Chicago Bulls team, which is like, to me, the New York Knicks. They're playing team basketball. OKC played team basketball. Team basketball is what's winning these championships.
Yeah,
That was my point.
go ahead, Dre.
Fuck Jordan for the last time. Fuck out of here.
I think so. To get on the inexperience part, right? Uh, as Tay said, I don't want to use that as a crutch for the Spurs because at the end of the day, that same inexperience got you to the finals. That same inexperience made you probably one of the best teams in the league last year. In a stacked Western Conference where it was like a barn fire for most of the playoffs, right? So the inexperience thing I get, but to a certain extent.
Yeah, to a
Okay,
degree.
yeah, to a degree.
Yeah,
But the De'Aaron Fox thing, De'Aaron Fox, you are a veteran point guard. Slow the ball down.
yeah,
That's the only thing I got to say about that. Other
yeah.
than that,
Run the clock out. That's what you should have
other
did.
than that, run the clock out. But that is the whole. It's De'Aaron Fox fault thing. Is not. It's completely not
There
true.
was so much stuff that happened
It
that
was
cost them that game.
so much stuff happened, and
It's
when we
not
said it
just
on the
that one
podium,
play.
yeah,
Yeah.
when we said it on the podium, it didn't happen just in the fourth quarter. It was way before that.
Hmm.
When you shoot 1,000 threes and you
Eight,
make most of them at the beginning,
8. They shot
when you
eight
shoot
threes back to back to
when you
back to
shoot
back.
when you shoot 1,000 threes in the game and you make most of them at the beginning, and then you start missing them, something in your head, maybe the coach should be saying, "Hey, let's not shoot these threes, even though we were making them. We're not making them now. Let's slow the game down." My other point, Wemby played a couple more minutes than he usually playing. If
44.
you're up, if you're up 29, you have Cornette, you have Biombo, you have Plumlee, you have Kelly Olynyk. Let them play. Harrison Barnes, for whatever reason, has not seen the floor, and I'm surprised because he's the person on the floor with championship experience.
I'm not. I'm not. He's not the only one. Cornette too. But
Right, but
I agree.
there's that.
I agree.
But he
I
should
have that
be
right
on
here.
the
So
floor.
I
Right,
had
he
that
should be on.
Harrison
He should have been on the floor at least
gassed
when
out.
they're up. When they're up 29, you have four bigs to put in. Cat is already in foul trouble.
Mm,
Right, y'all know how the refs are calling this game
mm.
based off the first two fouls. Which the first foul, whatever. The second foul was questionable. Yeah, you can get him for the grab, but Wemby could have took his hand out and he sold the foul. You saw
Bro,
it
they
at
did
the
that
end.
2 games in a row. You realize that, right? Bridges
I
caught two
absolutely
fouls
did that.
early in like a minute and change.
Yeah,
And Cat caught it in
yeah,
game.
They wanted to humiliate the Knicks.
they
That's
did.
why they wanted to humiliate. They were all laughing. They were all doing all this. They were doing all. I
Yeah.
mean, you get what I'm saying? It was too valuable. Like I said, valuable lesson.
Hmm.
And it's not the inexperience because we've seen very experienced teams do stuff like that too.
I'm talking about the
That
coaching too.
the
Like,
Cleveland Cavaliers were a very experienced team. They got the oldest point guard in the world in James Harden, or whatever he is. He the oldest guard in Jesus's name in in the league.
well,
I was surprised that
analytically, they should be winning the championship right now.
yes,
Analytically they are the world champions right now for sure.
yeah, but man, listen, they wanted to embarrass the Knicks. They wanted to
Yeah.
demoralize them. They wanted to be
Yep.
dominant. They came out, and I don't, like I said, I don't think it was inexperience. I think it was arrogance.
But Ted, can I ask you something? If you up 29
I
points,
Arrogance.
like that. I like that.
like Dre just said, you're up 29 points. Your star player, knowing that you just came off a 2 7 game series, you're gonna keep your star player and your leading scorer, your leading
Arrogance.
blocks, your leading rebounds.
Arrogance.
You're gonna keep him on the floor
Wemby wanted to stay
24
out there.
minutes, and he's stupid.
Wemby wanted to stay out there
And that's why
to
he missed those
prove
2 free throws.
a
This is
point.
exactly why he missed those 2 free
To
throws.
prove it
Yep.
wasn't inexperience. It was cockiness. It was overconfidence. They wanted to take the Knicks. They tried to play a game of mental chess, right? They tried to steal the Knicks' spirit in the Garden so that they can come back to San Antonio and go up to and they wanted to go. They thought because everything was working for them that formula was going to carry out into the second quarter, into the second half of the game. Now, mind you, there's not a world where they wanted to do this, right? And I forgot his name.
Mitch Johnson.
Mitch
Mitch Johnson.
Johnson. I'm pretty sure he went to Wemby. Was like, "Yo, do you want to sit down?" And he was like,
He's
"No,
stupid. He's stupid.
no, it's not
You don't.
stupid.
Yeah,
It's
it's
arrogance.
stupid.
It's arrogance. They did not like the fact that the last few games have been close. They wanted to make a statement. They wanted that game to be a statement game. And guess what happened?
And
A
that statement
statement
was
was
made.
made. A
That
A
statement
statement
was
was
statement
made.
was
made.
made.
A
This
statement
series is
was
over.
made.
I don't even think it's gonna be a game 6. I was saying Knicks in
So
6.
I think it's gonna be a game 6. Sorry,
I
guys, I'm
don't
getting
know.
hot.
yeah.
Oh my
So
god.
so what we were talking about before when we were so you remember Matt? We were all in the chat. Yeah,
Let's
remember
go
y'all?
Knicks, baby.
We were all talking in the chat, and Matt was saying that the Knicks, the Spurs heart is taken, blah 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 blah, and then the Spurs won Game 3.
Mm-hmm.
In this particular case, if you said that after they won, I would be on that same like direction with you, where the Knicks took the Spurs heart that game because ain't no way you are up 29 points and you lose and now you have to go back to San Antonio and now you're like, how can we
That's
beat these guys?
demoralizing.
They
It's very
bought into the
demoralizing.
media. They bought into that media narrative. Let me tell you what they did too. They bought into that media narrative that once they beat OKC, that the Knicks were going to be a cakewalk.
Mm-hmm.
I have a gut feeling that they went into this series thinking that, you know what, we beat SGA and them, you know what I'm saying? And you know what, the Knicks, that's light work. That's why you didn't really hear them really talking too much trash about the Knicks. You know, that's why you heard Stephon Castle saying, "Oh well, Brunson is better than SGA when it comes to making different shots. He don't flop as much." He changed his tune after game two. Now, mind you, the Knicks punched him in the mouth game one, right?
Smack the shot out of
Game
him.
two, they came out swinging. Game two, the
Mm-hmm.
Knicks, they held on. I mean, Wemby got a good shot. They're looking at it like the series should have been
Two
three
like
they three three
two three
one by
one.
now.
Yeah, yeah. Two
The
one or
way
three.
that they are stunned that the Knicks have beat their asses three times. I bet you they are.
Big belt, big belt.
Yeah. I bet you they really thought, like I said, because people were like, "Oh, the Knicks got it. You know, they didn't play against anybody, they didn't beat anybody, and this and the third," which is nonsense. And now you came into this
Wow.
series because even they thought that they were going to win four straight games after game one. They had this whole thing. Wemby said he wasn't worried. He said after game one, he said they asked him if he was worried. What did he say? He said no.
He certainly said no, and I was so confused when I heard it. I'm just like, this Knicks team has just beat everybody. Like, what are y'all
Including
talking?
y'all. Including
Brunson
y'all
has
during the
Brunson has
season.
61 on y'all.
Yeah. So now, mind you, this is another thing I want to say about that game and about the series, and then we can go on to whatever's next. From my this is what I would have to say.
Okay,
The Knicks have not even played that well this series. This is the worst Knicks we've seen in the playoffs. So people are saying that San Antonio is the better team, right? I don't. I think they have more. They're the younger team, right? I don't. I think the Knicks were always the better team. I swear, you can't be busting everybody ass, right? And then like all of a sudden, but Brunson has not had a good series. Cat has not had a good series. Bridges has not had a good series. Shamet hasn't had a good series. Josh Hart hasn't had a good series at all. Let's be besides the first game.
I think OG's the only one that's been
OG
kind of consistent.
Anunoby has been
okay.
OG Anunoby has been the X factor on both ends of the court. Mitchell Robinson has not had a good series at all defensively.
He
Mhm.
should never play. He shouldn't play. I'm tired of him seeing him on the floor.
You
I'm
get what
tired of
I'm
seeing him on
saying?
the floor.
I'd rather see Hawk Porty.
Oh my God.
I
I
mean,
would too.
Hawk Porty played pretty good. Hawk Porty played pretty damn good last night. I'm
I
not
just
even
don't
gonna
like
hold
hearing
you.
how
He
y'all
did
say
what he was
his
supposed to
name.
do.
Kind of
I feel like
Party is crazy.
I feel like
What?
this.
How
All
you
right.
say it then?
I don't know. I'm just saying it sounds
It's
crazy.
Hawk Porty. That's what they call him.
It,
OG
anyway,
Anunoby has put New York City on his back.
he
Yes.
has, he has, and I'm going to piggyback on that. What you just said about the Knicks not having a really good series at all. Brunson took everything his soul that first game
Yeah.
to finish to close out that game. That second game, he was no good. That third game, he was the whole Knicks squad in the fourth quarter was terrible. But to
I
add
think
on
we
to
lost
that,
game three because of Brunson, if you want my honest opinion.
we lost game three because the combined efforts of the Knicks, and then Brunson was in his head because he wasn't getting any calls, and that goes to what I was about to bring up. We spoke about games one, two, and three amongst each other about the calls. Game four, I'm gonna be for real. The Knicks and the Spurs did not allow the refs to take over the game, and
Oh
here's
no,
what I
not at
mean by
all.
that. Here's what I mean by that. Outside of the goaltending calls, outside of the two fluky fouls on Cat, the game was played straight up because the Spurs were doing what they had to do in that first quarter. If they were making everything, they were doing everything. The Knicks were not playing well. So if the Knicks are playing well, you making the game, you leaving it in the ref's hands.
Yeah.
Second half, the roles reverse. Everybody's just playing straight up. The refs are not calling anything because there's nothing to call. Yes, the Knicks got to the free throw line 11 times in that first quarter, first half, whatever. But those were like, those were kind of ticky tack too.
Mhm.
But nothing is as egregious as it was the first three games. And the
Well, game three
Spurs,
was horrible.
realistically, the way the Spurs were getting most of the whistles, the series should be tied 2-2.
Yeah.
The series should be tied. And I hate depending on the refs, but if everything is just so out there, everything is literally there. So my question to y'all is going back to San Antonio in Game Fives. Do we think the refs will play a bigger role in this game than they did the last game?
No,
Will it go back to Will it go back to what we've seen the first three games?
I think there's too much eyes on what the refs are doing, and it's too much people saying the same thing. And as far as like, clearly you guys have an agenda, and with everything that's been kind of like publicized, yeah, you have your NBA analysts who are gonna want to speak on the truth, and I to a degree agree with them. We can't keep blaming the refs for a lot of stuff that's going on. You eventually have to play the game, and the Knicks pretty much shook out of it for game one and game two, and pretty well not game one because game one I feel like they punched the Spurs in the face, but game two and game three it was pretty like chippy as far as like the referees with the calls and stuff. But I feel like the Knicks found ways to get out of that funk as far as the referee calls, and then they had to eventually play their game. So I feel like with what happened in game four, I feel like the Knicks that we're accustomed to seeing, we're going to see in game five. I feel
Okay.
like they cracked their code and now they kind of know where to go now with this.
I mean, I was not a fan of seeing the Knicks complain about every foul either. Because
Yeah.
to be honest with you, you weren't really all right. The officiating was a bit spotty. It was very spotty. I'm not going to, especially that game three. That game three, there was some costly. Okay. Do I think that the referees could have helped determine, not intentionally, I'm not saying accusing them of anything, but could the Knicks have won that game?
100%.
Absolutely. Were
100%.
there some really key things that were missed? Absolutely. I think that it also goes to say the least sloppy you play, the more you have cause to play your game. So
Mm,
it was a perfect storm. The Knicks were turning the ball over like crazy in game three, right?
mm,
They were turning the ball over like crazy the first half of game four,
mm,
right? Now I hated seeing them complain about every, you know who was doing that too? Castle complained about every single
mhm.
solitary call. And I'm like, I thought SGA was bad. Like, you guys are worse. Like, you mean to tell me like you didn't foul not one time?
And they flop. Lord knows they
Bad,
flop. They flop.
bad.
I know that one 3-point
Wemby
shot
is
where, oh my God, he is the
And it
Wemby's a
worst.
looks
wacky
god
He
awful.
inflatable
is,
too, man.
It
Like,
looks
come
god
on.
awful when he flops. I hate to see it. I hate to see it. I hate to see it. And I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan of relying on the whistle either.
yeah.
Like hit him
And
hard. Like and the be in all intents and purposes, the refs have been letting them play. Cause
yeah,
that game, the first two games were chippy as
Yeah,
hell.
yeah,
the only thing I got mad at was the mush on Brunson because I'm like, yo, you can't tell me you didn't see that.
There were
You
a couple
can't tell
other
me you
little
didn't see
things. There
that.
were a
Yeah,
couple of other things that were especially game three to me was one of the worst officiated games I've seen
yeah.
in a long time.
The
Game four
bulldozing of
was a little
Brunson,
better.
the
Yeah,
bull when Castle literally threw his like, I'm like, yo, you can't tell me that's not a flagrant, but no, they just called it as a charge. I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? But yeah,
yeah. That
other than those
whole
two,
tackle. Yeah,
yeah. Other than those two, it was chippy. Like Cat sometimes grabs them and underhooks them to wrestle to make it look like he's struggling. So I know what he's doing. So I'm not. That's why I want because you got your Nick haters out there and they know
Yeah,
that you're faking.
Matt
So
used
they're
to
gonna
Matt used to do that. Matt used to do that.
what hate on what? No,
Underhook
I'm
and
no, I'm elbowing
But
you. I'm elbowing you.
San Antonio came in a little too cocky. They
And
did
game
not.
for it.
It felt like the whole. I think the whole series because you don't remember when like Fox was like trying to jump in Brunson's face. I think that was like
Oh,
game 2, and
that was
then like
game. Yeah, game two.
Brunson's dad had to be like, "Yo, you ain't that tough. Like, don't do that. Like, you guys are not built like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. And it's kind of weird. I don't like it. I mean, I just don't like the Spurs.
I mean, but you said it yourself that yes, they have come in very cocky, and I think after Game Four, they are very much humble because it went from Wemby saying, "I'm not worried, I don't have to change a thing, and we're going to still win. I can play normal, and we're going to beat the Knicks." We heard De'Aaron Fox talk like, "No, we don't have to change anything. Like we're going to be fine." And you heard Stephon, I think we're going to win the next 4 games after he won Game Three, and I feel like now after Game Four and that they realized like, oh, they came back from 29. We just became a part of history. Oh, this is what they're talking about when they say no lead is safe when you're playing this team. They're seeing it in live form on the biggest stage in basketball. They're seeing it in live form, and to hear Wemby now have nothing to say, like, and then you hear De'Aaron Fox like, I just thought I outran him, and I didn't think he was gonna be able to catch up. Now you respect them. Now you see it and you realize like, yo, this ain't play. Like this is a really, really, really good team, and we might have missed our opportunity here when we dropped those two in San Antonio. And then they awoke the sleeping giant. It pissed Captain off. They pissed him off because he was dormant for game two and game three. He was pretty kind of dormant. Yeah, granted, he scored what he scored on game three, but my man had 36 and 5 and 7
I don't
last
think
night.
so dormant. I think Castle had him on lock. I mean,
That's what I said. He's been
game
dormant. He
three,
hasn't been able to do nothing.
game
He's
three, they
they
would double
stifled
him.
him.
They
They
would
stifled him.
and Champagne is a really good defender too. Let's not get that twisted. Champagne or whatever his name is.
Champagne, you said it right. You
Yeah,
said it right.
he's a really good defender. I don't like Bishop Loughlin people, so I'm never gonna get it right. So it's like I went to Naz and I
you
went
just
to
you just
Bishop
you
for
just you just gonna say it wrong on purpose.
No, no, I get it.
I get it.
But
I get it.
but yo,
but
in all realness, I feel like their best player has been Dylan Harper, and they for some reason Mitch Johnson
Yes,
just he keeps messing it up.
he
I
don't
don't
want
Stephon
to
know
play
why he
Castle
keeps
there.
too.
doing
I
it.
mean, Stephon Castle was dynamic in Game 3. I
Yeah,
mean,
I think he,
Harper was amazing last night. Um, that boy was shooting lights out
but he's
last
been
night.
consistent all 4 games. He's been playing like that, and they keep taking him out. I think that he didn't play for 6 minutes in the fourth quarter, and then they put him in late, and like by the time you cold,
I mean, he played more minutes than everyone apart from Vassal and Champagne
no
and
realness though. If you had to choose
Wembanyama.
your, if you had to choose with the aggression and the consistency, are you still playing De'Aaron Fox more than you're playing Dylan Harper?
Absolutely.
I don't know.
I'm sorry because let me tell you something too. In 2 games, let's not forget, 2 games in a row, De'Aaron Fox hit 2 clutch shots.
He did.
Okay, I think he solidified that game for them in Game 3.
In game three, definitely, 100%.
Okay, and last
100%.
night he's the one who hit a shot to put the lead back up to 7, not realizing on the other end of the court that's what set up the Jose Alvarado shot.
Yeah.
After that, the bank shot, not the three,
Mhm.
right? When they went down by 5, right, and then came back, and then somebody missed again. Then they went back down by no. Wembyama missed those 2 free throws. and then we had Brunson, but
Yeah, I feel like those two
I'm
things is on
putting
the
in
hard hand.
Fox.
It's on the hard hand.
Not too much on Fox, y'all.
I don't. I'm
He,
not blaming
he
him.
made. No, I'm not saying
He did
y'all
a.
because the
Yeah.
headlines today was what was the worst playoff mistake? J.R. Smith in Game One or De'Aaron Fox last night, and it's
No,
forever going to be J.R. Smith.
no. Honestly, the worst playoff mistake was Wemby passing to somebody that wasn't paying attention to him after he gave him eye contact and say that he was going to run the ball up. That was the worst mistake because, in all realness, you're winning game two if you did not make that mistake. It would be 2-2. It would be 2-3. No, wait,
Yeah, 2
2-2.
2.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
mean,
but then if Brunson didn't go stone cold, the Knicks could have realistically, the Knicks were very close to sweeping the goddamn Spurs. Let's
100%.
not.
Super close.
They only lost that game three by
By
4 points.
5. It was 4 or 5,
Five,
right? I think it was 5. It was
four.
4? Oh,
It
yeah.
was
Yeah.
four,
One
and it
one
went
fifty,
down,
111.
and it went down to the last wire. Right? There is not one of these games, besides last night, that I felt that the Spurs could have won over the Knicks. The Knicks could have really swept them.
Mm-hmm. And no realness, the Knicks should have swept them. Game
And
3 should have been
it's
ours.
Knicks in six though.
It-
I want to.
I
Yeah,
feel like they can close it in San
I
Antonio,
think
bro. I'm
I
not
think
even
they
gonna
can
hold
close
you.
it,
I feel
but
like they can
depending.
close it in San Antonio.
Listen, the script writers is already mad. The script
Yeah.
writers is already
It's
mad.
gonna be Knicks in six. I don't think San Antonio is going to go down without a fight. Them boys
Tay,
are too hungry.
I hear you,
Yeah,
but if the Knicks get an early lead, or if they get a lead that's
that's
10
their
or 15,
problem.
they not giving that
The
up.
Knicks are not good with a lead.
The
They
Knicks.
have to play from behind, like the Kansas City Chiefs.
I was just about to say that. I was see. This is why we are brother and sister. I was just about to say that. I had that written down. I said the Knicks are the Kansas City Chiefs right now.
Even though
You do not want to
y'all
be
know,
down more than 15 to the Knicks. You know what? You don't want the Knicks to be down more than 15 because they go come right
They've
back.
done this. They've done this so many damn times. It's like,
they were
damn, bro.
leading and they were leading in game three at the half by 7 points.
Yeah, they were. They were. Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. In game 3, I was like, yo, once they broke into the half and they had the lead, I said, oh, okay. So there's no Trump mojo. Yeah, I spoke too soon.
Nah, it was all over the place.
Yeah,
Also,
all over the place.
I want to go back to what we were talking about with Cat real quick before we move on to one of the last topics because we covered everything.
Hmm.
Karl Anthony Towns, as Tay was saying before, he hasn't played Wemby the best, and yes, his game one defense on Wemby was the best defense he played.
Game 1 and game 2.
Game one and part of game two, toward the end of game two, game
Hmm.
three, and yesterday.
He he went missing. I don't know where. It's
No,
like he's
not missing.
avoiding them.
Right now, Cat is a foul magnet. Now, some of his fouls he shouldn't be called for, yes, but some he puts himself in the positions to get called for the fouls.
All the time.
He puts himself in a position to call fouls,
Yes, he does.
and
Him and Josh
you
Hart.
have you have to you got to play one B in the chest. You got to make the refs call it. No,
I
we do
told
not
you.
want you to be in foul trouble. We would hate that you'll be in foul trouble, but at the same time, don't let Wemby don't let Wemby get comfortable. When Wemby gets comfortable, you see what happens.
Don't let
Like
him be a guard.
don't let him be a guard. Also, Mitchell Robinson just needs to not play. I keep saying this. Mitchell Robinson needs to not play. He got gas faster than I would.
Nah, he
And I was like,
100% did. I thought I was the only one. I'm like, why is he tired already? He just got in the game.
and I also wish he would have hit Wemby harder.
I ain't gonna hold you, me too.
I
It
wish he
had to
would have
be
hit
worth
Wemby
it.
harder.
But he
It had to be
also
worth it.
knew, but he also knew
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
Cat was in foul trouble. He was
Yeah,
willing to do that flagrant too.
Nah, he
He
yeah.
thought
was
about it. You could tell.
willing.
You could tell. You could see it in his
He
face.
thought
He's like,
about
I
it.
should. I
Let
should. You
yo
know what? Fuck you.
yo, let that have been them going on offense. Let Wemby have been going up on offense. that foul would have happened. That foul would have happened for sure, for
But
sure.
somebody had to be the enforcer last night, and it had to be Robinson. It couldn't be Cat. It
Def,
couldn't be
it,
Huckporty. He didn't play at all until last night. I forgot he was even on the
That should have
team.
been his job. It should have been SoCon or SoCran or whatever the fuck his name
But
is. One of
but
them.
Alvarado played no games. Mikal Bridges was had his hands all over Wemby too. So to be honest with you, like
mhm.
I always had the Knicks winning this series. To be honest with you, I thought the Knicks was I felt that the Knicks toe to toe with anyone.
Yeah,
But
I, yeah. I said,
I said it when we was waiting for the Western Conference. Man, I say
I
either
said,
one of them
I said
teams
they
I feel
match up
good
well
about.
against both. They match up
Yeah.
well against both teams. They match up well against
I
both
said if
teams.
it was the Spurs, it was gonna be six. If it was OKC, it was gonna be seven. I
I
said it
thought
was
I
one of the
think if
two.
it was OKC, it was gonna be six. Chet Holmgren was a whole bomb in the
I wasn't
Western
worried about
Conference.
him. I was worried about Hart and Caruso. That's what I was worried about.
But Caruso was
He has nights
Disappear. He disappeared. He
he has
disappeared.
nights. He
He
disappeared in
disappeared.
that
But yeah,
series, but yeah, he has his days. He has the series when he shows up.
yeah,
That's what I
but
was
for
worried
every
about.
Caruso there's a Hart. For every Caruso there's an OG. For every Caruso there's a Mikal Bridges. For every Russo there's a Landry Shamet.
I liked our chances with OKC because J Dub was out and so was Mitchell. So I mean, we had an advantage over them. So that's the only reason why the Spurs beat them. You really want to be honest?
Honestly, the reason why the Spurs beat them is because Wembyama was flopping and flapping and flailing all over the damn place. Like
And
Dre
bitch and
said, like those
chat.
inflatable
the,
buddies
yeah,
things.
them two men in front of the car salesman places. Just that's what he looks like all the time, and I dislike that. I'm just like, how? Like,
It's been a while since I didn't like a team on the Western Conference, and now I
I
have one team I don't like, and that's the Spurs.
I ain't
I
like the Spurs since '99.
I liked the Spurs because I liked
No,
Pop.
y'all.
I like somewhat of that brand of basketball of y'all moving the rock, but it's not Pop there no more, so I don't got like the
He's
Spurs.
still there. He's still
No,
there.
Pop not coaching, so I don't got to
He's
like the
not
Spurs
coaching,
no
but
more.
he's giving them advice and text
Pop
messages
is
and stuff.
Pop not coaching. He not on them sidelines. So I don't gotta like the Spurs no more.
Look, I
And
never liked the Spurs. I
and I
hated
love
Mono Ginobili. I hated
and
Tim Duncan. I hated Tony Parker. I hated Michael Finley. I hated Bruce Bowen. I hated Avery Johnson. I hated David Robinson. I hated Robert Horry. I used
I
to like
always
Robert
like,
Horry.
I always liked David Robinson. I did not like Robert Ory.
I didn't
I
start.
hated everybody on
I
that
didn't.
team.
I didn't like Robert Ory once he got to the Lakers. I was like, all right,
He was
bro.
on the Lakers before he was on the
Like,
Spurs. But the one person that I hated the most in the Spurs uniform was Bruce Bowen. I hated that. I couldn't stand him. Could not stand him. But then again,
when
I think I hate Danny Green more than I hate Mono Ginobili. I hated him too.
Yeah, something about his
so you
smug ass face. I
so,
didn't care about the Spurs though.
so you was rooting for Miami?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't never heard you
And you know
say
what? I'm
that. So
tired of all the Knicks bandwagon jumpers.
No, I hate
Like
the haters. I hate the people that live in New York that hate the Knicks. That's who I can't stand.
it's not a lot of them, but I'm not a fan of the bandwagons. I'm not a fan of the hip. We also we know that people are acting a straight fool outside. And I don't like the fact that the San Antonio Spurs fans are acting so high and mighty when they had to have two fans ejected for good because they probably said some racist nonsense to Jalen Brunson.
and then one person ran on it. One of their fans ran on the court to take a picture.
Damn, I
Come
forgot
on,
about that.
I didn't think
yeah,
about
come on,
that. That was
come on.
legendary. So Mitchell
As
Robinson
we
face.
yeah, and he got listen. That man that if he could get that picture autographed, that man be a billionaire.
Boy out
But
of jail too.
yeah,
He did a
he wasn't
stream.
gonna
I
stay in
watched it.
there.
No, I mean
But
he did a stream. I saw the stream.
yeah. But you did say something. This is one topic I just wanted to touch on real quick. A lot of people talking about bandwagon fans and this, that, and the third, and a couple people have been saying something in the words of me because yes, as everybody know, I have rooted for the Miami Heat. I have rooted against the Knicks. I have. and I have not shied against rooting against the Knicks. But what I will not do is not praise the Knicks when they're doing well. I will not praise the Knicks. I will not hold myself accountable for the things I've said about the Knicks. I have not said a bad word about the New York Knicks this whole year. This whole year. Yeah, I've been trolling the past couple years. At the end of the day, as I've posted, it's not like I was never a full time cold blooded Knicks fan to begin with. That's where my basketball love started, from the Knicks, and part of that is still there. Part of that is still there. But for the people who are out here in New York and you are outwardly rooting for the Knicks, not rooting for the Knicks, move out, leave. Don't go to the, don't come to the parade. Don't don't post any New York clips because the Knicks winning for the city of New York will probably and it I could be wrong, but this will probably move back Eli's two rings back, back in the second place if the Knicks win this ring. It would be probably one of the most important championships in the
I mean,
city.
every we gotta stop that comparative stuff. Like we do it way too much. It's frustrating. Like that had its moment in time. That was 14 years ago. Totally different sport. Because if the Giants turn around and win the championship next year, which is not going to happen, it's still important. Like the Liberty won the championship 2 years ago. That was very important. Everybody
I
has a
cried.
moment in time,
I
you
cried.
know. But
I cried a little bit too.
The Knicks winning the championship, it's going to heal a lot because we haven't won shit in 53 years. So every New York moment is amazing. It's like the Thanos moment because every other sports team in New York City, I'm not counting the Nets. As you guys know, I've never rooted for the Nets.
I'm from Brooklyn, so
She's
Like
never, ever, never, ever, and never will. It doesn't matter if the Brooklyn Nets are in the finals. She will never root for the Brooklyn Nets.
only if
look,
they go against the Spurs.
No,
I
I
put
don't
on for my
believe you.
borough.
I don't believe you. You probably pull out a Wemby jersey and be like, hey, go ahead.
No, let me tell you something. I never. Let me tell you something. Wemby is he looks like Obama a little bit, but he look like a. My daughter calls him handsome Squidward. I don't know why
Oh
she
my
calls him
god.
that, but she calls him handsome Squidward.
Oh my god.
But
God.
yeah, but
Oh, shit.
I never rooted for the Nets. This is New York's team. This is our time. It may never get this good again in our lifetime. So we might as well ride the wave. I love the fact
God, the wave.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I love the fact that there's been a different NBA champion every year for the past
Me
few
too.
years.
Uh-huh.
I love that.
Yes.
I was tired of
Yes.
those dynasties. I was tired of it, tired of it, tired of it. It feels more competitive. It makes the league feel more important. And basketball, when New York does well in basketball, basketball does well.
Yeah. Yo, what
There
was it?
is no NBA without the Knicks.
Game three was the highest rated game 3 or 4 since the 90s, I think they said.
And
That
I'm
tells you
tired
a
of
lot.
seeing like the Pacers fan, like, oh, next year the guys are coming back. Like nobody cares about Halliburton.
Let me tell you
You
about the
know,
Pacers. They lost everybody. All they
Yeah,
got is
damn sure
Halliburton
did.
now. That's it.
Halliburton and
That's it. That was their
not even, they
time.
don't got Miles Turner. They got
No,
what's the dude
Turner's
name?
Turner's
in the
gone. He was the
Bucks.
first
He's
one
on
to
the
go.
Bucks.
He the Bucks. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I said. They don't
he's on
got
the
Miles
Bucks.
Turner no more. They washed.
Oh, Siakam. They still got Siakam.
Yeah,
Siakam
they
probably
got
gonna get traded.
Siakam.
Oh
But
well,
my
the
Probably
thing
only thing
get
is,
traded.
Siakam knew how to do was try to play the Knicks in the game 3 last year. So
yo, but the thing is, the only and Boston's probably not gonna be the same because they might get rid of Jalen Brown. So I mean,
I think they should get rid of Tatum. You know about getting rid of
they're
Brown. I
not
think
gonna do
y'all need to
that.
get rid of
They're
y'all
not
need to
going.
get rid of Tatum.
I agree with you, but they're not gonna do it. They're not. And now the whole thing of the summer is gonna be where Giannis is gonna land. So it's like it's a lot.
we don't care
He
about no
might
goddamn Giannis.
he might
And
be
I
coming to
don't.
Miami. He might be coming to
I think
Miami. We
truth
ready
be
we
told, I
ready
think
to
he's gonna
lose
go
in
to
the con
OKC. I
we
think he's
ready to
gonna go
lose
to
in
OKC.
the comp listen, we ready to lose in the conference finals to the Knicks if we come to Miami. I'm just
And
saying.
LeBron leaving LA. He might go to Golden State. So much stuff going on. The league gonna be different again in a couple weeks.
Man. But so the
But the
final
next team
question,
stay intact.
they should. They got money.
No, they
They got
will.
the money. They got the money to pay everybody.
The only free agents is Clarkson. Alvarado got a player option. Mitchell Robinson's due for his contract. Uh, Shamit, Sopron, and somebody else. I forgot. But it's just the bench. Our starting five is pretty much intact.
So, yeah, hopefully the Knicks do stay together. But the final question I did want to ask you guys is this question is tailored specifically to you two,
Hmm.
and it's more of a personal feeling. Tay said what it would mean for the city, but personally, and I start with Matt, and I want to end it with Tay. Matt,
Yo,
if the Knicks win this next game, if the Knicks win the NBA Finals, or when the Knicks win the NBA Finals, what would
uh-huh.
this mean to you personally?
I'm not gonna hold you. I've been kind of like low key emotional since, honestly, since the Cleveland series. I mean, because I shouldn't have been because we all kind of had the Knicks getting out of the East, but I'm not gonna hold you. We was kind of skeptical about it because of how good Detroit was playing, and Jason Tatum coming back early from his Achilles tear.
I wasn't.
You have your moments because again, it's trauma. It's trauma. Like
Analytically, we
the
thought the Cavs
analytics,
were going to win.
not
I never thought the Cavs were gonna win.
no. I'm not talking about like as far as the playoffs. I'm talking about like dirt throughout the season. Because we didn't like the Knicks didn't have their offense figured out yet. That was clear. They figured it out at the right moment in the right time, which was in the playoffs. But I've been like my favorite player at one point in time was John Starks.
Me
So
too.
it's like, to go through the heartbreaks of the Houston series and the Reggie Miller series and the Miami Heat series, losing the freaking Jordan all the fucking time. Like getting through the lockout, and then like even though we knew we weren't beating that Spurs team, it was just the fact of like, this is that it can happen. And then from that to go to the Frank Ntikinas, the Chris Duhans, the even though I like Pablo Prigioni, the Jamal Crawfords and Stephon Marbury's of the world, the Eddie Currys and his heart problems and baby mama issues, all of that. Like all of my childhood memories were in the garden and being a Knick fan and all those times of getting joked on for being a Knick fan. It was embarrassing to be a Knick fan. You could not have no, this is my path of my childhood. Like in the cafeterias having these arguments about basketball, you couldn't really say too much because everybody was a LeBron fan and he's making
Not
the
you.
finals.
In one breath saying everybody was a LeBron fan, but people still nut hug Jordan. Oh, go ahead.
I didn't know her Jordan, so I don't know what you're talking about. I hate Jordan.
You just
But
said they had to play Jordan.
yeah, because it was the facts. He
They had to
ran
play
the 90s.
Jordan.
He ran the 90s. It was what it was.
They had to
Our
play
best
Jordan.
our best chances at the championships was the years that Jordan and the Bulls won. We know that. So to finally be in a position where the Knicks are relevant, I'm just excited to be at the table to have these conversations and be certain that the Knicks are relevant. But for them to win a championship, that's hitting different. You feel like a kid again. I feel like I'm 5 years old in the garden all over again. Seeing John Starks dunk on Jordan and them, like you feel like you're that age again. You remember the Larry Johnson 4-point play. Like you remember all of those. Like as much as Tay hate Jeremy Lin, but the Lin Sanity moment, like you had like the
I
moments
just
that we
find
were
that he's a
cheering.
grifter. He distances himself from the organization. He had a long time to clear up him and Carmelo Anthony. But go ahead, keep going, cause you going in a rabbit hole. Just say what you guys say, bro.
Nah, but I got I get emotional talking about this because it's like,
All
yo,
right.
one
Yeah,
game is
okay.
crazy. I'm emotional. I get like my girl be like, you sound stupid. Why?
You
It's
was
just a
just a you
basketball
was just
game.
a Nets fan like 2 years ago. Like,
Look,
bro, like sit
but
down.
I'm always going to support the Knicks. I always said that. That never has
Hmm.
changed. That never will change.
You remember beef patties at the parade in Brooklyn on Flatbush Avenue. You remember? I'll never
You
forget that
did say
either.
that. You did say that. Yo, y'all was having a long ass argument for like 2 days about
Oh,
where the parade was
where the
going to
parade
be.
gonna be? It's gonna be on
Where the parade was
Flatbush.
going to be. It's never going to be a Flatbush, bro.
The
Let's get
Liberty
that.
Championship proved that already.
Right.
Like,
The Liberty Championship proved that, bro. Like,
They don't count. They don't count.
for the resident Knicks fan on this podcast that has never flip flopped ever, it was to a point where when the Knicks weren't playing well, I would not even want to watch basketball. You get what I'm saying? I've been in love with the New York Knicks for the past 32 years. It is the longest, most toxic relationship I've ever been in, and I have not turned them loose yet. So, if the Knicks win a championship, it's for that little girl who was 9 years old who put on a Starks jersey for the first time and fell in love with the game of basketball. For that 11-year-old girl who got an Anthony Mason jersey, right? And decided she wanted to play basketball and was just fucking people up.
Sounds about right.
They're winning it for the 13-year-old girl, right? That had a LJ, jersey, who loved Grandmama. For the 15-year-old girl that had an Allen Houston jersey, who will never forget that winning shot in the first round of the playoffs when everybody thought they were going to lose to Miami.
Yeah.
So this is for Hubert Davis, Charles Smith, Rolando Blackman,
They
Anthony
should have played them.
Mason, Anthony Mason, Ron Harper, Chris Childs, Marcus Camby,
Hollywood.
Chris Copeland,
Bruh.
Steve Novak.
Discount double check.
This is for Jamal Crawford.
My
This is
God.
for Stephon Marbury.
I'm
You
hot to
know,
petroleum jelly.
this is
Chris
for
Dudley. Chris
this
Dudley.
is for Chris Dudley, right? This is for Latrell Sprewell.
Nate Robinson.
This is for Tim Thomas. This is for Kurt Thomas. This is for
Word.
Charles Thomas. Carl Thomas. Okay? This is for Patrick Ewing. This is for Charles Oakley. This is for all the kids in Brownsville that had to sit there and defend the Knicks to the core because everybody wanted to jump on the Jordan bandwagon and
Mm,
we refused. Right? This is for 1994, 2 for 17, baby. Right? This is
still
for
went over
all of
that.
them. The Knicks has been the longest relationship I've ever had. So to be able to see this in real time and experience this with my dad, with my pops, to be able to say, well, look, you introduced me to a game that I fell in love with, and now here we are with the dividends. I would trade an engagement ring for the Knicks. I would trade my car for a Knicks championship ring. I might trade my Chanel purse for a Knicks championship. That's what this means to me. I know it's only gonna happen once. So I gotta take it where I can. I mean, look, I got cancer this year. The least I can get is a Knicks championship.
Thanks. And we all were like in sound of mind, like we were never going to live to see this day, to have this opportunity.
As you
Like,
saw, the more the Knicks became, I was there in Madison Square Garden when the tickets were $10. When you had to beg people to come to Knicks games.
well, I was in the
You know,
chase box.
the first time I ever went to a Knicks game, it was the first game between the Heat and the Knicks after Pat Riley quit from the team June 17th, 1995. This is for the girl who wore her jerseys to no end, no matter what. I was never a Bulls fan. I thought Jordan was overrated. I had a moment with LeBron because I felt like, that era of basketball wasn't me. It was for y'all. Because even though LeBron and me are the same age, so I felt a little different. I didn't really look up to LeBron. I looked at LeBron. You know,
Ain't no
this is
damn
for those.
reason.
This is for all the heartbreaks. Even last year was a heartbreak.
Uh,
You know, and I still show up. I told my daughter, the Knicks don't win the championship this year, I'm giving up. I'm done. I'm done with basketball. I don't want to hear nothing about the basketball. I don't want to see nothing about the basketball. I don't even want to talk about basketball. I don't know. My name is Tavia Hartley, and I am a Knick.
Hey, that's it. That's it.
You remember that guy was like, "Oh, my mayor's Muslim, my bagel's Jewish, my Christian
Yeah.
Dior Nixon for." It was like I was gonna say something really grimy, but you're gonna have to censor it too much. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Say it after the show.
we forgot to mention Rasheed Wallace. Ball don't lie.
Baron Davis,
Oh, B
Yeah.
Diddy. B Diddy.
Yeah.
That's
Jason
my guy.
Kidd,
Yeah,
Jason
man.
Kidd.
When they took
I
over their
really.
Raymond,
division and was second in the
Raymond
conference.
Felton, Charlie
Facts. Facts.
Ward,
The
Facts.
best quarterback in the city, Charlie Ward,
Charlie Ward. This is
Facts.
for all those guys, and
Chauncey Billups.
no other friend. No, he won a ring with somebody else. All these people I'm naming didn't really
Detroit.
win rings
Yo,
with
bro, the
anybody.
Oh
Steve,
yeah.
yo, Shump was supposed to be on a show.
Nah,
He
Shump
was supposed to
plays
be
too many
working.
games for me. I love Shump, don't get me wrong, but he played too many games for me. He got on TV with his whole chest and said
Mhm.
Spurs in six. Then turned around and said, look.
Crowd
We're not
surfing in
doing
New
that.
York.
We're not doing
Yo,
that.
you
We're
saw
not
him
doing
yesterday
that.
though? My man
Yeah.
had his old jersey on. Yo, he's supposed to be working. He was like, yo, man, I gotta go with the people.
You gotta go with the people.
Now you had no. I never forget you, and I keep putting it on threads. You said Knicks. You said Spurs in six. We ain't forget Shump.
Oh man, yo. But I know Shump loved the Knicks, man. And that man cried when he got traded to Cleveland.
Yeah, but he won a ring. So this is for all the men who didn't.
Nah, I still support Shump and J.R. Smith, man. I didn't want them to leave.
I love
I didn't
J.R.
want
Smith.
yeah, I didn't want Novak to leave. I was mad when they got rid of Novak, man. That shit still hurt my heart.
That was, listen. Mm-mm-mm. I thought the best opportunity for the Knicks to win a championship was when they had all those pieces,
Oh,
including
Jason Kidd and
including
all of them, right?
yeah, yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. And if but again, that's the era wasn't for them. This era is
Yeah.
for them. And for people who are saying little guards can't win,
Oh.
and we're watching it, we're
Yo,
watching it.
Draymond said he apologized to his
But
face
I don't
on
want to
air.
hear
No,
that.
no,
No,
nobody
because
want to hear. Nobody
nobody
want to
want
hear
to
that
hear
shit.
that.
Nobody hears
No,
that
I'm
shit.
just
Brunson, you
saying
know,
the
to be
level
honest
of
with you,
the
Brunson didn't want to hear it either.
Yeah,
nah, because he heard
Exa-
it. He heard the chirping.
Yeah,
yeah, he heard
because
it.
to be honest with you, him and Shaq and Draymond was sitting there being really smug this whole series. I'm surprised that Charles Barkley, who hated the Knicks for so many years, like at the end of
He
the
chose
day,
he chose the Knicks at the
Yo,
beginning of the year.
no, in the beginning of the year, he chose the Knicks. I'm
It's
not gonna hold you.
crazy.
But yo, you can't. The way that they play, it's hard not to be fans of them, yo. With the way that they play, their mentality, the team ball, the level of excitement, the down 20-point games, down 18-point games, and they have this will and this heart and this desire to win. It's hard not to be fans of. The fact that you got a whole city unified to the point where it's not the Spurs against the Knicks, it's the Spurs against New York as a whole. You got all the alumni of the Knicks. We're talking about the Walt Clyde Frazier's to the Bernard Kings to the
but they
Ewings
show up. They've been
they
showing up
all
for
there.
years. But they've
But
been
that's what I'm
showing up
saying.
for years. Oakley
But did
should
you
be
see
there
them
too.
partying? He
Oakley should
should.
be there, and I
Can I say
hate
it,
that
Dre?
he's not.
Can I say it,
No,
Dre?
you know
Let
what?
me say it.
You no, you can't say it until they win.
No, I feel like I'm
When they win,
look,
when they win, when they win,
look,
when they win.
fuck James Dolan. We still should be able to piss on his death. That's how I feel. I don't care for James Dolan. It's his fault why we lost game three. I don't care what nobody says. He invited he invited the orange
But
to
to
the
be honest
garden.
with you, look, let me tell you something. Politics aside, Trump has always been a Knicks fan.
That's a fact.
He's always
He
been a Knicks
comes
fan, but
from New York.
From
I
Queens.
mean,
I'm just
Nobody said,
saying
he went there to shit and sleep the whole first half of the game. He was sleeping the whole time and
he
shitting
was
his
knocked
diaper.
out. He was knocked out the whole time, but he shut down all of that area for him to get a good nap.
But then James Dolan turned around and told and said Mom Donnie and Tish was like they stopped people from being able to do the watch party in game four. Like that was so hypocritical. He canceled it last minute because they only approved the permit for up to a
Or
thousand people, which I agree with. Because you
yeah,
know what, I am all for everybody acting out and doing their thing, but it's getting kind of out of hand. And I don't. It's not like people saying that over hundreds of Spurs fans were attacked. I didn't even know the Spurs had 100 fans.
not in New York.
I
I
mean,
didn't
not
know that.
anywhere. I never seen so many Spurs fans all of a sudden. I never seen so many Spurs fans all of a sudden because they weren't even jocking with Tim Duncan like that.
I've seen Ginobili fans, but my thing is again, I feel like it's cool for like everybody wants to be a villain, again for so long it was cool to hate on the Knicks, and that's just what it was. And now it was so cool. Now you getting that punch back. That's why like when we kind of touched on the Wemby thing, I don't condone eggs being thrown at him, but I'm not mad about it. You want to play a role of being a villain? Look, this is what happened to villains.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, they're messing it up for all of us though. This is a moment like half these people who are doing this nonsensical stuff and not even Knicks fans. They're looking to go viral, and I
Mhm.
don't care about online perception of Knicks fans. But to be honest with you, like I don't. We're used to being hated. Like
Yeah.
I just don't. You shouldn't be assaulting NBA players. Like
Or police
I think it's
officers.
kind of corny. I think it's kind of corny to
Or,
go
or
to
fa-
I think it's kind of corny to throw eggs at Wemby. Like that's whack. You know what I'm saying? Keep that on the court because you think Jalen Brunson gonna be like, yeah, I'm glad the fans did that.
No, like I said, I don't condone it. I'm not mad about it because again, it's an egg. But I do feel like some levels of respect should be had. Again, he's just playing the sport that he loves. Granted,
nah,
he has like some dickhead mannerisms about him when he's on the
They all
floor.
do.
They
they
all
all
Nobody was
do.
do.
worse than nobody was worse than Halliburton last year.
Oh
Yeah, if y'all was gonna hit anybody, y'all probably should have jumped Halliburton.
no, it would have been
Like,
Trae Young. It definitely would have been Trae Young.
no, that should no
I thought
Halliburton.
Halliburton was worse
I
than
think
Trey
Nah,
Young.
Halliburton.
bro.
I think Halliburton was worse. I think Trey and them caught fire at a time when the Knicks just wasn't at full. Like they wasn't at full strength.
Right, it
He
was
had
starting
fucking
to
Julius
simmer.
Randle.
Yeah, yeah,
But
Had
that,
fucking Julius Randle.
last year we thought we were on the path to the finals last year, and the
yeah.
Pacers came and stopped that. That was our first Eastern Conference Finals appearance in 25 years. At that time,
Yeah.
no, and they came and they
Uh,
won the series. Nah, man,
Yeah, nah,
Halliburton is
nah.
the
He had.
bigger.
I'm not gonna hold you. That game one still haunts me sometimes because
Not
They needed to beat him up. They needed to
Last
beat
night's
him
game
up.
kind of. I'll be honest with you. Last night's game kind of cleaned the palette for me.
yeah,
Yeah, but
Because
yo,
without that happening last year, we wouldn't be here this year.
I'm not gonna hold you. I've never had a moment where I had no words. It was just like, oh my god. It was
when
just like,
when
oh my god. Like,
when
yo,
OG tipped the ball in, it was like,
it's 4 in the. It's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting ready for work, and I just played it. Just to relive it. I got chills to see Olivia Benson crying on half court because she loved OG Anunoby. It's
OG.
I love me
crazy.
a quiet, quirky, unproblematic queen.
OG. Look, my favorite Nick was Latrell Sprewell, but his jersey
That
is
was
never going to
everybody's
get
favorite
retired.
Nick.
His
My
jersey never
favorite Nick
going
was
to get
Jamal
retired.
Crawford.
His jersey is never going to get retired in the Raptors. That number 8 officially belongs to OG Anunoby forever.
Nah, that's a fact. Just like we can't even wear Crawford jersey no more because Brunson's number is 11.
It's Brunson's jersey now. It's
Yeah,
Brunson's jersey now. But
Here we go with the comparing. At the
Jamal
end of the
Crawford is
day,
always my favorite
everybody,
Nick.
let me tell you, because everybody started with this bullshit about, oh, BS about, oh, if Brunson wins the ring, does that make him the most impactful Nick of all time? Let us have our moment. Like, I'm pretty sure he's not thinking about that. I'm not even thinking about that.
he's
Like,
sure definitely not thinking about it.
nobody cares.
We're only thinking about the 48 minutes that it takes for us to get this next win to end a 53-year drought, and that's all that matters for the next couple days.
Yeah, and stop doing corny stuff to fans in the streets, man. Like
Yeah, yeah,
laugh and joke and curse and jump around and have the unity, all the stuff like that. I love the crowd surfing. I
yeah.
love when they jump on the flagpole. Like I love stuff like that. But when you're destroying police cars and ambulances
And
and
taxi
taxi
Five guys.
cabs.
cars,
5 guys. Well, y'all are jumping fans of other teams. Come on, like it don't need to be all
that
that.
Spurs fan, that was staged.
No, I'm not talking about the Spurs fan. There were other
You talking about the Atlanta Hawks? Yeah,
the
they
Atlanta
ripped
Hawks
his
fan
jersey crazy.
making him take his jersey off and rip it. People
Yeah,
pay good money
they're
for their
doing
jersey. They're doing too
weird. Some of
much.
this stuff is getting so weird, and it's not even fun anymore. It's
Yeah,
not fun.
yeah,
Just
y'all not
have
making it fun.
fun, enjoy it. Stop trying to go viral. We may never get here again. Like so, take it for what it is.
Hmm. And
Shout
that's
out to
that's
Spike.
it.
Shout out to Spike.
Shots. Yep. But that is a wrap for the Your Sports Show. Follow Your Sports Show on all social media platforms at Your Sports Show. Follow BK Matt at Henny Bobby Brown 25.
25. Yeah,
Okay.
What's the 25 for?
that was my jersey number.
Oh,
Ben Simmons. Yes. So
Mikal Bridges.
follow Queen Tay at Tavia Regina and the other one as well.
no,
Not the other one as well.
no.
But we shouted it out
We shouted out
before.
last
We already
episode.
shouted out last episode. So, so
I'm sorry,
Show
y'all.
this-
I'm
she's-
sorry, y'all. My man is doing so well. He's about to win a championship.
OG, I knew it.
but
I love an
No,
awkward king.
I know it.
I love an awkward. I was gonna say Josh Hart, but he's married. He's married to a beautiful black queen. So
and follow me at the Wise Brother on everything.
you got like 6 pages your damn so.
Yes, I
I
do.
do. Who, me or Matt?
I only got
You
one.
I only got the
yo.
Wise Brother. I got the Wise Brother on
I don't
everything.
know
I got.
what's going on. I don't know what's going on with Threads, but your girl is really popular on Threads, man. Last
Yeah.
night, yo,
You gotta relax.
I got called fat last night on Threads, baby, because I showed my Knicks, and I told her I was like, "Girl, your face looks like leather.
I gotta go.
Get
You
some
gotta
Fo- fo-
Cetaphil."
relax.
if you find Tay on the Knicks threads, follow her. You'll know who she is. You'll know exactly who she is.
Yeah.
But for Henny Bobby Brown, BK Matt, for the Queen Tay, it is your boy Big Baby signing off. Peace.